They've got to go to St James Park and win, Rob. There's a 5-point gap between them and Liverpool. They go to St James Park and lose that game and Liverpool win. We're starting to talk about a big distance between the two top teams who we think are going to go close all the way.
Okay, Rob, let's look ahead to Sunday's game, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on USA Network. Newcastle United take on Arsenal at St James's Park. Oh, after this last weekend, what are we thinking for this game?
Well, what I do know, Rob, is these two clubs actually have got a little bit of history now over the time. There's been, a little bust up on the touchline between Eddie Howe and Mikel Arteta. And it's an Arsenal team that, based on the not brilliant performance against Manchester City, although they did end up with a point, you kind of feel like they've got to get some consistency and build on some wins. So they've got to go to St James Park and win, Rob. There's a 5-point gap between them and Liverpool. They go to St James Park and lose that game and Liverpool win. We're starting to talk about a big distance between the two top teams who we think are going to go close all the way.
I think everyone's going to be watching for Mikel Arteta's team news, Rob. Who's he picking? I'm assuming that Bukayo Saka now, after some minutes in the last game, hopefully for them will be good to start on the right-hand side. Madueke, we understand, has got a bit of a problem, an injury. Martinelli has probably earned a place on the left-hand side. And then that midfield, Rob. What are they going to do at St James's Park? Are they going to go with power, or are they going to go with the Bercher Eze that's got more quality? Has he learned from this Arteta? Is he going to change that? This is the sort of game you kind of need some strength in midfield, depending on how Newcastle United play. And we saw the last game with Newcastle United where they went to Bournemouth and were defensive. This is St James's Park. This is different. I think this could be a high press, because he has two modes, Eddie Howe. Two very distinct modes: high press, huge high energy and physicality, or a sit back and have a slower game of football. Arteta's got to be ready for both, Rob, and his team selection is going to be fascinating and really, really important.
And I think at both ends of the pitch, Rob, we've got two new strikers to the Premier League. We've got Gyökeres for Arsenal at one end of the pitch. We've got Nick Voldemolder at the other end of the pitch. I think $90 million from Stuttgart. Gyökeres is coming from Sporting, and it's about those big players delivering in big games for the team. So can that Newcastle team play with the intensity, create chances for Voldemolder, who's got one Premier League goal already? Can Arsenal produce enough chances, which they didn't really do against Manchester City, for Gyökeres? 3 Premier League goals for him. So another little cameo to look out for. Who can feed the strikers? Which strikers can win the game? Always a great game at St James's Park, mate. Looking forward to it. Newcastle United v Arsenal, Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the USA Network.